Hey, howdy guys! So it's time for another Jolly Links of the week. The last one of this year, actually. Alrighty guys, so like I said, this is the last Jolly Links of this year. And I'm pretty sad about that, and I'm pretty happy that this is the 10th one. I've done 10 videos of these, for the past 2 months. I've been having a lot of fun making these, and I hope you've had fun watching this too. I plan on keep doing more of these for next year. I'm probably gonna change the format a little bit and how I edit the videos, but it should be around the same. But yeah, this one will definitely be the last one of this year. I'm gonna take around like a 2-week break until I start this again on January. I wanna use this Christmas break and a little bit of the beginning of January, just so I can look at the videos that I've done and analyze and see what worked and see what you guys liked and see what you guys didn't like, so I can cut some stuff out and do more of what works. And yeah, so this one's gonna be a little different already. I'm just gonna share 2 things that I want to talk about, just because I want to dive a little deeper into what I want to talk about. So it's best if I just do 2 things instead of 3, and then I don't make like a really long video and I don't have to sit here and write outlines for like 3-4 hours. Nobody wants to do that. So yeah, one more thing before I start. I've done a video this week for my clothing artist process videos, where I talk a little bit about the shirt that I've done for this week, or rather for the one I didn't do this week, and about all the other shirts that are available on my website. So if you want to know more details, I recommend you watch that video. It's really short, and it's really short and sweet, only like 6 minutes long. So if you guys want to check that out, it will really help. And also check the website, and see all the stuff that I have available over there for you guys to get if you want to. So if any shirts that you guys buy, it's of course appreciated, and you're one of my favorites if you do that. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the link of the video down in the description, and let's just get started on this one, shall we? Alright, so for the first thing I want to share, it's actually an anime that I've watched this week. It's been like months and months since I've watched like any TV shows, and you can tell that I got a little way more entertained by this anime. I think it was probably because I haven't watched any TV series in such a long time. And the show that I watched is called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And for an anime, that's like a pretty common anime, in the trope of that I got born in a new world and I'm like an overall all-powerful being, main character. I think the anime was pretty enjoyable and really cool to watch. And it's like a really nice breath of fresh air, at least for me that haven't watched anything in like months. And this anime is like a pretty cool idea about that, instead of being like a guy, like a stupid guy or something, it's literally a slime, the guy gets reincarnated as just a blob, and he becomes an all-powerful blob. So that's a really cool and interesting thing to see. That's a cool idea that becomes really interesting as you go on, because it makes you really curious, like how are you gonna get that idea of a slime and turn it into something interesting. And the way that the writers work with that idea and processed it was pretty interesting. And it's really interesting to see, where that idea of a slime goes. And I think that the writers did a good job, at least in portraying, at least on these first, 12 episodes that the series started on. It's a lot more interesting than other animes of the same trope than, let's say, Overlord, which is kind of like, a break of that same idea, but instead of being like a good guy, all-powerful, main character, it's just a guy stuck in a skeleton body, and he kind of becomes an evil figure in the world and wants to take over the world, At least that's the premise that the first episodes lead you to believe that's where the anime is gonna go. But overall on the other episodes, it kind of gets lost, especially in the second season too, where, where the main character is not even, the focus of the series anymore. It just goes on like little arcs involving, like 10s and 20 other characters that are in the world, which are not that interesting, compared to the main character and to the main goal that you want to see, that you were led to believe in the beginning, of the first episodes, where this guy's gonna take over the world. It just doesn't pay off as well as the slime anime. And you can probably tell that I immediately watched Overlord right after the slime anime. But that's just because I remember Overlord. I remember watching the first season and really enjoying that series, and being impressed by how they took that idea of this all-powerful main character and turned it sideways into like an evil guy, that wants to take over. But so far it hasn't paid off. I haven't seen the third season yet. I'm like halfway into the second season. Kind of got bored there in the middle. But I'm gonna keep watching and see where it goes. But yeah, so far the slime anime did a lot better job compared to the Overlord series. So yeah, if you're still not tired of that, stupid anime trope of being transported to another world, I really recommend you That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This show has some interesting ideas, and it's got this really, fresh sense of humor, and it's like a really wholesome story in a way. It pays off really well, at least in this first season. So yeah, if you're into watching, that kind of anime, I really recommend you to. I think you're gonna enjoy yourself watching it. So yeah, you can watch the anime on Crunchyroll if you want to, or any other pirate, website that's out there. I don't have to tell you which ones. And another disclaimer too, Crunchyroll is not sponsoring this video in any way. But Crunchyroll, if you're watching, talk to me. I don't mind getting sponsored. Alright, so for the second and final thing I want to share with you guys today is Warframe again. I don't know if you guys are tired of me talking about this or not, but if you couldn't tell yet, I'm not like a huge fan of Warframe, and I haven't played even a second of it yet. And how the heck does that work, you might ask? It's actually all because of Digital Extremes, the developer, and its community, for being so open and for being so clear in how they talk about the game and the way they explain it, and they talk about how the community works. And it's just such an open community, and it's like a really cool group of people on Reddit and here on YouTube as well. And they seem to be a group of like really cool people that I just love to be friends with, So if any of you guys are watching and you like to be buddies, shoot me a message. Oh, it's so cheesy, jeez. But since I've been lurking and hanging around the community and watching a lot of videos about Warframe lately, one thing that I've heard about consistently is the end game. And it's all fashion framing. And that makes me super happy because you guys already know that fashion is my thing. So it makes me really excited to want to play this game even more, and get to the fashion framing part of things. Hey guys, this is Ali from the future doing the editing. And I just noticed that I said fashion framing on this specific point. I do know that it's called fashion frame and not fashion framing. I don't know what I had in my mind that I call fashion framing for some reason. I had no idea why. So I'm sorry in advance, and if you keep hearing fashion framing, know that I do know that it's fashion frame and not fashion framing. That's a very important point that I need to disclose right here, right before you hear it, because I'm going to say it a lot. Okay, so before you cringe, before you do all that stuff, just know that I do know it's fashion frame and not fashion framing. Alright, back to the video. So yeah, if you guys, have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, fashion framing is pretty much finding ways to customize your frames, which is like the characters that you can play on Warframe, and finding ways to customize them in your own unique way, and finding ways to make them look as different as you can and make them express your way, through the way that the character looks. And that's always been one of my favorite things in any game that I play. So I don't even care how much I have to get done, you know, to get to do the fashion framing. But that's something that's definitely my end game, you know, if I would ever play Warframe, you know, all the way through. And it's something so impressive too, thinking in ways of customization, you know, that a developer provides. You can make frames and characters look in this game completely different from one another, you know, and you can grab like one main frame, let's say for example Excalibur, which is like the main one that you pick at the beginning. You can make that guy, which is like the poster boy of the game, make him look completely different from how he looks originally. And that's like pretty impressive to say the least, you know, for a developer to give you that much freedom into making a character look. That's really impressive, especially in a game like this too, which is all sci-fi based, you know, and you know these frames all look like robots and stuff, and you can make them look completely crazy and give them completely different personalities in a way. And that's super impressive, and I think it's something that I really want to dive into, you know, whenever I start playing the game. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos, you know, listening about fashion framing and try to find YouTubers that talk about this. And one that I found that I want to recommend is this super cool guy. His name is Hydroxate. And this guy is really cool because he's like really deep into fashion framing, and he displays a bunch of different styles for each frame, you know, with each with its own crazy different styles on his series. I think it's called, what is it? Off the Runway series. He adds that high fashion song, you know, make all the frames look like models and stuff like that. It's really cool and it's pretty interesting to see. And you know, the stuff that he comes up with, you know, with all the different color sets and the different, you know, types of skins that you add to each frame, make them look completely different from each other even though they're the same frame. It's really, really cool. And one series that I really like watching from him is his Stenogen guide series. These videos are like guides on starting on designing skins, you know, on Warframe, and using, you know, Digital Extreme's original Stenogen workshop, which is like a tool that you can download and you can get to create and, you know, try off different skins there that you can do yourself. You know, that's one of the cool things about DE as well, is that it lets artists and, you know, and people who like, you know, designing 3D skins for the Warframes, you know, you can submit a bunch of different skins that you make and people get to vote, and DE decides at the end if they can even add that skin to the game and be an official item that you can get. That's so cool, and that's something really exciting that I think I'd love to get into. I'm not good at 3D sculpting. I've tried it before a bunch of times for some different projects that I've done in the past, but I think that's something that I really love to get into, but I bet it can become like a whole overwhelming thing that I don't even know if I want to start, you know? But I really love that aspect, you know, of creating skins and submitting skins and see if people like it, if they voted, and then DE can pick and choose which ones they want to add to the actual game. That takes me back, you know, to the old days where I used to, you know, make shirt designs for threadless.com. That's how I actually started, you know, making shirt designs. I would make a bunch of designs and submit it to Threadless, and people will vote on those designs, and then, you know, Threadless gets to pick, you know, which shirts they want to add to the website and turn them into real products. You know, that's how I got started into making shirt designs. It's got that really competitive edge, and it's something that you can strive to, you know, to get. And that's something that I worked hard for years, you know, until I got a shirt printed on Threadless. And so that's really exciting, and that really calls out to me, you know, to try to do something. So I might do that in the future, definitely. So you guys will be the first to know if I ever get to do that. But yeah, that's something that really interests me. But anyway, something that I really want to get into is fashion framing in the game. And customizing and making your characters look so cool and unique in an online game, you know, has always been a favorite thing of mine. So this definitely will be something that I spend a lot of time on Warframe in the future. And I'm thinking about doing some gameplay videos, or at least highlights, you know, of the gameplays that I do in this game. Do you guys would like to see that? If you do, let me know, leave a comment below, you know, and that might be something that I do too, you know, for January and for next year. I might be doing a lot of stuff more related to Warframe. Something that I'll keep talking about is Warframe for sure. Alright, I've rambled enough about Warframe and, you know, an anime. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do already. And I appreciate every single one of you, you know, who leaves comments, who subscribe, and leave likes and all that stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, you know, these videos that I've been doing this year. And I'll definitely do more next year, and I can't wait to do more. I have a couple more videos to do next week, so I'm not completely done yet. So expect to see those two next week, and then I'm gonna be on a little, you know, short break, and I'm gonna start again next year. I'm not sure if it's gonna be at the same pace of the, you know, these crazy 50 videos that I've been doing, but at least I'm still gonna be here, you know, around YouTube, talking to you about stuff about fashion, gaming, and, you know, anything related to pop culture and nostalgia. I just love talking about this stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it too. And, you know, thank you very much. Keep life jolly, keep life wholesome, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.